Hello everybody and welcome to this video. My name is Ben, coach at Build a Body Online Training, helping rugby players get leaner, stronger and faster for their game so that they can level up. Today we are going to cover a rugby guide to calorie balance. For general health and fitness, calorie balance, this is pretty simple. For rugby players, it is a completely different kettle of fish, okay? This training is going to be really crucial for you to get a grip on your body composition goals throughout a rugby year, how to fit in the calorie balance equation to your rugby life, nutrition and training strategies to manipulate the calorie balance equation as well, all in good detail. Without further ado, let's crack on. Before we go any further though, if you have disordered eating, or any other problems in that regard, please seek professional help before implementing any of this training. Okay, and a disclaimer: if anything in this training I say offends you in any way or makes you upset, please let me know, because your well-being is really, really important to me as well as a player and as a person. Okay, let's quickly define some key info here. Firstly, starting with what is a calorie. It is simply a unit of energy. Just like a car burns petrol so that it can drive, our bodies burn calories so that we can function. Nice and easy. And what is calorie balance? Well, simply maintenance of calories means we're going to maintain our weight. Okay, if we're in a calorie deficit, so we're burning more calories than we're taking in, we're going to lose weight. If we're in a surplus where we're taking in more calories than we're burning, we're going to gain weight. Nice and easy. So how do we lose weight? We're going to dive a little bit more deeply into these topics, obviously. But the first thing is you work out your basal metabolic rate, you track your nutrition, your training, and your day-to-day activity levels, and then you make individual and strategic adjustments so that you get into a calorie deficit. Okay? And then gaining size goes the other way, but exactly the same methods apply, making sure that we're in a calorie surplus to gain weight. But just like anything, guys, doing this comes down to your core habits and your behaviors. If you can create a day-to-day lifestyle that combines the ideal nutrition, training, activity levels, recovery methods, mental well-being, sleep, all of these things, you're going to be able to hit any body composition goal that you want. So, getting into the tracking element and doing some analysis of your current situation. You need to track your nutrition and you need to track your training. You can do this really simply using lots of apps. There's loads of things out there, and also smart devices, things like smartwatches and phones as well. All of this is so easy for you to do nowadays, so there's no excuse. You need to track everything, okay? All of the meals, all of the specific ingredients and the measures of those ingredients as well. All of your trainings and activities, all down to the finest, minute, smallest snack and movement that you do, okay? Track everything. And you need to do this accurately. Don't do rough measures, okay? No missed ingredients, no missed exercises, okay? Don't be scared and ashamed. This is all for your own benefit, okay? If something doesn't go the way that you planned it to go, or maybe you consume something you don't think is a good thing to consume, get it tracked down, okay? You need to go all in on this practice. Just like absolutely anything, if you do a half-assed effort on your tracking of your nutrition and your training, it's going to give you skewed results, okay? They're not going to help you. They're not going to be very good to work off. They're not going to get you to an improved result as a result of doing poor tracking, okay? It should be viewed as an educational process, not something that takes over your life. Sometimes nutrition tracking, training tracking is an absolute ball ache. Okay, it takes a lot of time and effort. Okay, hold on. I didn't see that ingredient. Oh no, I missed everything out. Okay, treat this process as education, right? You're finding out about your current situation. You're setting the foundation on which you can adjust to get you closer to your body composition goal. Okay, we really don't want to do this forever. So go hard, treat it as an educational process. Once you have the data from 1 to 2 weeks of tracking, you can start to figure out, okay, what is your daily, weekly calorie balance? Is it a surplus? Is it a maintenance? Is it a deficit? And is that what you need to reach your body composition goal? Remember, if you're wanting to shed some extra timber and you want to lean out for your rugby, you need to be in a deficit. If you want to gain some seriously good muscle mass for your rugby, you're aiming for a surplus. So ask yourself, are you there? If not, adjustments are going to need to be made, okay? If yes, that's good, but you're still not reaching your goals, okay? Adjustments will probably still need to be made, but in a different way, okay? If you're there and you are moving towards your goal, brilliant. Keep going, keep refining it, keep doing what you're doing. So now you have the data, you can go into more detailed analysis. With your nutrition, you can start to ask yourself, what foods are influencing your calorie balance? What habits do you have that is influencing your balance? Okay, what can be easily modified right now and for the future to positively influence your balance? And a similar sort of thing goes with your training and your activity. What sessions are having an influence? What habits do you have in your training that is influencing your balance? Okay, what can be easily modified in your training and your activity for the foreseeable future that is going to be easy for you to do, that's going to positively influence it? Okay, now it's time for the good stuff. How to lose weight, how to gain size for your rugby. What we're going to go through is some strategies specifically for rugby players looking for body composition changes. It is really clear to note that there is no one size fits all. Okay, rugby is super demanding and it is really, really complex. So make sure you are individually aware of what you need to get the best out of your training and your results. Some strategies for losing weight, getting leaner. Okay, again, we need to get ourselves into that calorie deficit. And we do this by modifying our nutrition for reducing daily calories. We also modify our training so that we can increase activity levels and the burning of our calories. Okay, day-to-day activity, again, that lifestyle change is going to influence our calories burnt, and then modifying other lifestyle factors that can enhance the body's use of calories. If we go specifically into our nutrition modifications, adjust or modify, don't remove. This is really important. If you completely cut things out, if you remove things, go cold turkey, it makes it really hard to stay with it. Okay, so try and just adjust or modify, make small changes. Think, what foods or ingredients are you currently eating that you could cut in quantity? Okay, look back at your tracking, look back at your data. What is in there that is at quite a high quantity that you could maybe cut down? Adjusting the portion sizes of your meals. Maybe your meals are really good with the actual content of the meal. They're nice and balanced. They have a good amount of what you want in them, but are they just massive portions bringing in loads and loads of calories? Could you reduce some of the portion sizes? What foods or ingredients are you eating currently that you could swap for lower calorie options that will influence you getting into that deficit? Eating big on heavy training days and eating reserved on lower days or rest days. Here we're going into the timing of our nutrients. Fuel yourself when you have lots and lots of training. That's important so you get good amount of work done in your sessions, in your games, whatever it is. However, when you're not doing a lot, when you're resting, when you're just chilling and recovering, can we start to be a bit more reserved, be a bit more tactical so that we're in a calorie deficit? Eating big around your training. So specifically in the day, going for most of your big nutrition is around the trainings, okay? And then a bit smaller for the rest of the day. You might have a habit that isn't helping you. Maybe you need to reframe it. So for example, maybe you get really stressed and your habit when you get really stressed is to eat a box of biscuits. Okay, could we reframe that eating habit so that when you get stressed, instead of eating the biscuits, you're doing something else, you're adopting a different behavior. And then finally, just attempting common strategies that can enhance a calorie deficit. Simple ones like this are adding in a little bit of extra work into your workouts, going for a walk every single day. Maybe you want to try intermittent fasting or something along those lines, okay? Just make sure you know what you're doing, you're educated around it, and it is safe to do so. We can then look at our training and our activity modification. So a big one here is just do more at rugby trainings. Work harder, okay? Sometimes you can go to rugby trainings and you can sit back and you can relax a little bit more. This obviously depends on your level. If you're wearing a GPS monitor, if you have loads of coaches' eyes on you, you might be less fortunate and you might have to do a lot more work. If you're at a club level, if you're maybe going just to a training session with one coach, if you want to sit back and just chill and let everyone else do the hard work, that's not going to help you a lot in your calorie deficit. So do some more work at rugby training. Push the intensity at the gym. Make sure you're working a little bit harder. Could you add some extra kilograms into that next set? Could you do an extra couple of reps? Really try and work hard in the gym. Prioritizing weights over your cardio is another really big one, okay? Weights is so important. Resistance training really fires up our metabolism. Make sure we work hard and we keep burning calories for days and days on end, okay? Cardio can be used as a bit of a top-up. Increasing our daily activity level. If you're sedentary typically through your day-to-day, get yourself up, get yourself moving. Daily activity level is super, super important because it just keeps burning calories all through the day. Again, reframing some of those sedentary habits. Is it that you go home, you eat your dinner after work, and you sit in front of the telly for 2 hours? Could we maybe reframe one of those habits to sit in front of the telly, to go for a walk, doing something else, jumping on a treadmill, going to the gym, whatever it is? Adding finishers to main sessions. Here we're really refining it. But here you can add some cardio finishers, maybe a core finisher, an upper body finisher, doing just more extra bits of work to your main sessions for your rugby or your gym sessions or whatever your training program is. Add those finishers. That's going to help you get in a deficit. And then active recovery methods. These are really, really good, guys. Killing two birds with one stone here. You're getting your recovery in, but you're doing it with active methods, such as low-level cardio. Maybe you go for a swim in the pool. You go for a relaxing 1 hour walk in nature, okay, that calms the body down, helps you recovery. This keeps burning calories rather than sitting around doing nothing for your recovery instead. And then finally, lifestyle modifications. Big one here is reducing stress and anxiety. This really helps us to recover, also helps us to adapt from our training that we're doing. Okay, so it's really important that you make sure stress and anxiety are managed. Finding a balance between your rugby training, your work, your family, your sleep, really, really important. We don't want to get out of balance with all of these things so that you can't keep up that practice, leading to your calorie deficit and losing the weight. Okay. And bringing people with you on your journey. Can you bring in a teammate? Can you bring in a family member, a friend, whoever it is? Having the accountability, someone else to help you along the way is absolutely massive. So now we can move on to strategies for gaining size. We're going into the other way, but really similar principles are going to apply here. We need to get into a calorie surplus. We're going to modify our nutrition so that we increase our calories. We're going to modify our training to increase the growth of our lean muscle mass. Okay. Recovery is massive here, so we can modify that protocol that you're using. And then again, lifestyle factors that are going to enhance your growth and repair of tissue. So when we look at our nutrition, we're going to adjust or modify the current intake, again, for the same reasons. What foods or ingredients are you currently eating that you could increase in quantity? Remember, to gain size, to gain good quality lean muscle mass, you need to be in a surplus of your calories. You need more fuel. Could you adjust the portion sizes of your meals? Maybe there's a portion of protein in your meal that you currently have most nights. Do you want to increase that portion size of the protein so you're getting more in there? Okay. What foods or ingredients are you currently eating that you could swap for higher calorie options? Okay. Supplements are another really good tactic. If you are lacking in day-to-day nutrition and day-to-day fuel and you need the extra top-ups to gain that size, you could utilize supplements. Potentially a protein powder. Maybe you want to use creatine monohydrate, okay? As long as you know and you are aware of the dangers and the benefits of the supplements, an individual level, whether you can or can't have them, okay, these can be a good tool as well just to help you out. Again, reframing an eating habit that isn't helping you. Let's look at the stress habit again. Some people maybe get stressed and they don't eat, okay? Could you maybe, when you get stressed, set an alarm for your lunchtime, for your afternoon snack, whenever it is, and just say, you need to eat something now. I don't care if you're stressed, eat it. Reframe that habit, make sure it happens. Protein is huge, okay? This drives the growth and repair of our tissue. It gets us our lean muscle mass up, okay? Making sure we're gaining good quality size. So if you aren't currently eating your protein target, start with that. Make sure you're getting enough protein in. Super important for rugby players. And finally, don't eat junk with your nutrition modifications, okay? Sometimes we see players that want to gain size, so they just eat loads and loads and loads of crap, okay? Try not to do this. Eat clean. You are what you eat. Do you want to be a lean, big, muscly machine on the rugby pitch, or do you want to be a big mess that can't move their body weight, okay? The junk food is going to take you to the latter. So try not to eat junk just for the sake of adding calories into your day-to-day. Modifying our training and our activity. Do more resistance training, guys, okay? Lifting those weights at heavy intensities, but also at moderate intensities to try and increase our size. Massive, okay? That's how we gain good quality lean muscle mass. I like to add in pump finishers. So pump style finishers have high amounts of volume. These just are extras towards your after your main sessions, but just can add a little bit of that fatigue to the muscle and help it grow. Okay. And then have a think, where are you burning most of your calories that isn't contributing to gaining size or recovery? Think about where you can maybe modify that. If you feel like you're doing too much work and you're trimming down all the time, you need more time to recover and chill. Have a little look, see where you can refine that. And then the recovery protocol, guys. This is absolutely massive, okay? Make recovery much more of a priority in your training week if you're trying to gain size. You need to nail the big three, and that is good quality sleep, proper rugby nutrition, fueling the body, and hydration. Make sure you're rehydrating all the time. We're using a lot of water playing and training in the game, so nail those three. And we can also start to think of passive methods and maybe supplements that can top up your recovery. That's going to help you grow and repair. That's going to help you gain that lean muscle mass that you want. Lifestyle modifications are exactly the same, guys. Reduce your stress and anxiety. That way, we are putting more energy, more of the fuel is going towards growth and repair of our tissue to gain size. It isn't going towards being stressed, being anxious all the time, okay? Finding that balance again and bringing people with you on your journey for exactly the same reasons as you would for losing weight. There are a couple of really important considerations before you dive into all of this practice, guys. And that is, one, the stage of the season. A really important thing is that you pick the stage of the season to put the effort into adjusting your body composition and working on your calories. If it is during the season and you have competition every single week, do you want to be in a calorie deficit, maybe not having enough fuel and not enough energy to perform at training and at games? Probably not. So is it a good idea to be using the in-season, right in the thick of it, when you've got lots of competition, to be doing that? Potentially not. I would always suggest the off-season and the pre-season are better times because you don't need to compete on the weekends. That's not as important. And you have more time, more energy, more effort that you can put towards your body composition goals and adjusting your nutrition and day-to-day activity. Again, make minor adjustments. Big changes in lifestyle, massive changes, they typically don't last. So you want to just do the tiniest little thing every single week or every single month that is going to take you closer to your goal. That way it becomes more sustainable and it is easier to do day to day, hour to hour, all the time. And finally, again, mental and emotional well-being must not be at risk. For some people, this creates quite bad responses with mental health and emotional health. So please make sure that if that is the case, if you start to track your nutrition and it's making you feel really stressed, it's making you feel really horrible about yourself, then please don't continue. Make sure you find other avenues because we can't risk that. It is super important. Take this concept into consideration as well. This is the seesaw dilemma. Whilst one wants to go up, one might come down as well. Okay, we have performance in your rugby, but we also have the health and personal gain. Maybe it's your body composition goals. Okay, if you want to maximize one, you are likely to sacrifice another in some way. And again, this is especially the case in the season, okay, where trainings and games, they require loads and loads of fuel for you to perform. So does recovery as well, guys, in between. Don't forget about recovery. So if you're expending loads of energy and you're also taking in loads as well to cope with all of those things, think about how that's going to affect your performance or your health and personal gain. That's why the off-season, the pre-season is a good idea to focus on health and personal gain as opposed to your performance. You have to prioritize by personal choice and the stage of the season. Really important. What matters to you? And that goes here with what is your why for making a body composition change. Whether it's personal, whether it's performance-based, as long as it is valid and it is your doing as a person, as a player, you can go for it. Go hard. Do whatever you want to do. It needs to come from within. It needs to be your purpose. You're in charge of your body. You're in charge of where you're going, okay? If you're doing this for someone else's benefit, maybe we need to rethink that. Maybe it's not going to work in the long run. So make sure your why is strong and it is an internal motive, okay? My finishing advice for you is this. Aim for a small change in the off or the pre-season period through increased training and minor nutrition adjustments that can be habitually done day to day and enhance your well-being. And I particularly want to stress the increased training. It is much better for you to do more rugby training, more resistance training, more conditioning work, all of those things, than it is to try and really flip up and alter your nutrition, your day-to-day food. Okay, I'd much rather you were training more and training more smartly as well. Okay, hopefully that was a benefit, guys. Just to recap, a calorie deficit means we're going to lose weight. A calorie surplus means you're going to gain size. Those are key things that we need to figure out. There is no one size fits all. Context is absolutely key. You are your own individual and you need to understand that. All body composition changes start by tracking and analyzing your current situation. If you don't know what you're currently doing, how can you alter it and how can you fix it? Modifying nutrition, training, activity levels, lifestyle, and recovery are all key strategies to help you with your body composition. The off and the pre-season stages are ideal for making these changes, okay? Remember the seesaw dilemma. You need to prioritize performance or personal health goals. One of them might likely cause a hindrance on the other, okay? And please, again, don't jeopardize your mental and emotional well-being when you are chasing a body composition goal. You need to make sure that you are happy and you are okay day to day, and these aren't putting those things at risk. I hope you like this video, guys. Please check out the link to our Facebook group where you can get more content like this, more really helpful resources for your rugby. And please like and subscribe as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you on the next video. Cheers.